You've probably heard the advice, slow down. You have way more time than you could possibly imagine. And although I believe that this advice can be applicable in many ways and is important to understand, I also feel like when some people hear this, they might get a flawed perspective and they might be thinking in terms of a misconception. A lot of people might think, oh, okay, my time is super long, so why not just push things off, I'll figure this stuff out at a later time. And, when you think in terms of a timeline in life, there is a beginning and there will be an end. And we don't really truly know when the end will be. When you think in these ways, you realize that, okay, time is our most valuable resource, right? We spend so much of our time trying to figure out how we should spend our time. It's super ironic. It's probably why you're watching this video right now, right? You stumbled upon it and you thought that maybe meditation is something that I would like to do and that's how I would like to spend my time, but I need a good reason to do it. Really, why we meditate is when you think in these terms, you realize that, okay, life is actually an impermanent thing. And your experience of life throughout time will always happen in the present moment. The present moment transcends any experience. It is within every experience. And if your time is only valuable when you pay attention in the present moment, then maybe we should consider practicing our ability to do so. And that's really what we do in meditation. Meditation is just the art of practicing paying attention in the present moment. And there's some hurdles to this, right? Paying attention is hard because, well, when we analyze this at a nature versus nurture debate, you'll see on the nature side of things, evolutionarily speaking, our minds are distracted. In the past, our ancestors, those who overthought things, those who, stressed about dangerous situations, avoided those situations. And those people were more likely to survive. So that is why our minds are distracted. We're hardwired this way. But we haven't evolved an ability to kind of turn it off. When your mind does this, it's trying to help you, solve problems from the past and avoid failures in the future. But when you make a mistake, say you made a mistake in high school and you keep thinking about it, you think about it 10,000 times, you probably got your lesson after the third or fourth time, right? So your ability to kind of slow things down is something that we haven't really evolved. On the nurture side of things, right? There's obviously technology. That would be the one that most people point towards. Our phones are distracting. We are constantly getting hit with notifications and the truth is, it's how we use the phones that's really distracting. We intended technology to be kind of like our servant and we've allowed it to become, our master. But a reason that we are nurtured to be distracted that people don't talk about is merely the fact that nobody teaches us how to pay attention. If you think about when you were a child, maybe you were at some kind of practice with a coach or even at home with one of your parents, and in some situation, you started to lose focus, right? You started to kind of drift off in your mind. You were thinking about dinner or you were thinking about something else. And the parent or coach probably told you to pay attention, right? They told you to focus. They told you focus up over here, right? And what they're failing to recognize is that your ability to focus is a skill that no one taught you. And you can expect people to focus when they've never been taught. When people do finally sit down and meditate, a lot of times they close their eyes and they're expecting to end their thoughts. They expect that they're going to close their eyes and their mind's going to be blank. And this could not be further from the truth. When you meditate, the real reason you're doing it is to recognize your distracted mind and then bring your awareness back to the present moment. There's really no other reason, because the more and more that you're able to draw this connection back to the present moment, it's almost like doing a bicep curl for your brain. Like, you're literally increasing the muscle of focus. And as you do this, right, the more and more that you build this skill, the more and more you become self-aware. You start to look at your life kind of from this like bird's eye perspective, where you can notice your thoughts, your patterns of action, your behavior, and you can start to change it. You can start to mold yourself into the person you want to be. You start to see who you really are. You'll also start to see other people. You'll become more aware of others. You'll start to realize that other people are living as complicated lives as you are, and they have their own patterns, thoughts, behaviors. And it becomes this amazing experience. And you get to literally ask yourself the question, who do I want to be? And who am I? That is where your practice starts to bleed into your life, right? Essentially what happens is, because you meditated, your ability to pay attention has increased so much. So you'll find yourself, say, in a conversation with somebody, and you'll start to think about dinner, right? You'll start to think, it would be really nice to have Wendy's tonight. And your mind will get distracted, but because you meditate, you now are able to recognize this distractive thought, bring your awareness back to your friend, and now you are able to actually experience this moment for what it is. And it doesn't just happen when you're talking to people, it happens in your own life when you are literally, you could be doing work and it's just a level of awareness that you realize you are distracted and you bring your attention to what you're doing right now. Your experience of life is completely connected to this idea. How well are you able to pay attention? And if you haven't meditated, it's likely that your ability isn't the greatest. I know mine wasn't. And I've only been meditating for about 5 to 6 months. And I've already seen such a drastic change in my life and my awareness of my life. And I really would suggest it for everybody. It's the one thing in my life that I can firmly say everyone should try this. I do believe everyone has the ability to live their life the way they want to, but this is one thing that transcends everything. I feel like it's one of the most important skills you could possibly ever learn in your life. The thing to remember really is just, the goal is not to end your thoughts. The goal is just to bring your attention back to the present moment, because time is really our most valuable resource, and it's only valuable if you're paying attention in the present moment. So if meditation is practicing our ability to pay attention in the present moment, what could be more important than that? If you're new to this channel, my name is Max, and I will be talking a lot about the deeper motives for taking action. As well, I'll be taking you guys on a journey throughout my experiences with the various challenges that I place upon myself. If that kind of thing interests you, please consider subscribing. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you disliked it, also hit that dislike button. I'd love to hear from you guys what you liked or didn't like about the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.